Everyone, and welcome back to this week's video. And in this week's video, we're going to carry on by looking at the next faithful patriarch mentioned in the Hebrews chapter. Once again, another judge. And today we're going to carry on looking at this character. And this character is called Samson. So, many of you may know the story of Samson. But today, we're going to go through his character and understand the faithful attributes he had shown to earn his place as a faithful patriarch in the Hebrews chapter for showing his undoubted faith and loyalty and obedience and strength only towards God. We're going to see who Samson was, what Samson had done in his lifetime, his actions and how they related to what God had seen, how God saw his actions, and ultimately how we can put these situations into our own lives. So, Samson the Mighty. After Jephthah's death, a number of other judges served the nation, but they are merely mentioned in the records of the Bible. But the next judge who is given a prominence is Samson, the son of Manoah. Samson was a legendary Israelite warrior and judge, a member of the tribe of Daniel and a Nazarite. He was raised up to be a judge because, as in the case of others, we understand the children. We can read the verse, for example. We can go to Judges, where we can see, in Judges 13th chapter, we can see in the first 5 verses, actually, it says that the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And as punishment, the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. And we can see in considerable detail in Judges chapter 13 about the birth of Samson. You can go read this on yourselves if you want to understand more about Samson when it comes to his birth, we can say. But the main details we have to understand from talking about his birth is that, in keeping with the Lord's instructions, Samson's head was not shaved, for his parents were instructed that he was to be a lifelong Nazarite. Under the terms of the Jewish law, a Nazarite is one who is separated from the people and devoted exclusively to the service of the Lord, either for a limited period of time or for life, we can understand. And one of the outward characteristics of a Nazarite was uncut hair. So Samson was commanded through his parents, through the instruction given to his parents, to not cut his hair. You can see more to know about Nazarites vow we can understand written in Numbers 6 chapter to understand there's vows that the Nazarites must follow, and if they were to be a lifelong Nazarite. But it is revealed in one situation where Samson is tested. We can see Samson revealed to Delilah, a person we can see, that the secret of his strength was his hair. We can see, because we understand that Samson was a legendary warrior and legendary Israelite warrior, we can say, and a judge member, we can say. And this, because he had such strength with himself, he was not meant to tell anyone that of his secret. But he tells this person named Delilah that the secret of his strength was in his hair. We are not to suppose from this that there was some mysterious way in which the strength flowed from his head to his body. In this sense, the thought seems to be that as long as he retained his hair, the emblem of devotion to God he was given, that he shows his emblem and devotion towards God, and thus he was given the power by the Lord, not sort of any mysterious way that his hair was providing him the power. But we see, learning the secret, concerning Samson's hair, Delilah, we could see, took the opportunity while he slept to have a man cut it off. Probably this would not have been permitted by the Lord. Also set up a guideline for us as a great man breaking his vows of dedication with God. He compromised this for his fleshly influence, which he was corrupted by, and as a result, in a symbolic way, his hair is gone, and God in this situation withdrew his support, and the Philistines in this situation, who's unable to capture Samson, the unbeatable warrior, you could even say, they captured Samson due to Samson's one fatal situation where he had broken the vows and dedication towards God and compromised this for fleshly influence and corruption. And we can see with his hair gone, God withdrew his support and the Philistines captured Samson. But out his eyes, we can see, put out his eyes, and then they casted him into prison. So we can see, since Samson, with the strength which the Lord supplied, had vexed the Philistines for so long with his undoubted glorious strength God had provided him, they gloried over the fact they had now had him under control. So to celebrate this victory over the mighty Samson, the Lord of the Philistines gathered to offer sacrifices to their God, you can see. But the situation soon changed, you can see, as Samson's realization towards his sin and in this situation he's seeking for God's mercy on him, and God came to the rescue in this situation for Samson. You can see his hair had begun to grow again, and he asked the Lord to assist him once more, we can say, that he might show the power of God through him against the Philistines, suggesting Samson's, even though he has made a fatal mistake, he is ready to come back for the Lord in this fatal situation for him, we can even say, because he's ready to prove God's power once again, and he is already in the redemption zone, and he has accepted the fate for his consequence, but he still wants to glorify God's name and show the power that God possesses before anything happens, we can say. So the story of what followed is well known, we can see. Bracing himself between the two pillars which supported the roof of the building, he pushed them out, and the house, we can see, fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were within. So the dead which he slew at his death, we can understand, were more than he had killed in his whole life. So in this situation where he had pulled the two pillars out, he himself had also died. So willing to understand and accept the consequence, Samson does this in this situation, but we can see he had killed more people in this situation than he had ever done in his life. But he did this to show his glorious actions and to show the power of God, we can understand. This was a glorious moment for Samson, because the restoring of his strength, even for a moment, was proof to him that the Lord had forgiven his transgression at the start, and he must have gone into this sleep of death with a peace of mind that now he had rectified his mistake, he had glorified and showed the power that God possessed, and with that happy mind, Samson had gone to sleep, as we know, of death. So this is a very important characteristic for us to understand about Samson, as even if we do commit transgressions like Samson did, and we're in a position where we are in a hopeless situation or our talent has been taken away, for example, Samson's great strength through his hair, we have that opportunity for God to come back to us if we show that realization, redemption, and show that proof that we're wanting to show our faith and obedience and trust and everything towards God. For God will see this as proof to help us and will forgive the transgression that has been committed. For God will always forgive sins if our actions are truly repentful. And because of that, Samson we could say, he was forgiven for his transgressions, and he gone to sleep of death with a peace of mind. So thank you. That's all for today's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.